Hey. Hello, everybody. This is Brandino from the Big House with DJ Bledo. We have a special guest, Dale Alexander from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So take it away, Bledo.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man, thank you, and I'm glad to be here, man. I'm always glad to be around my peoples, man.
So how you like Dale? You know, it's really, this is some deja vu shit going on because I had Bledo help me get this Korg sampling piano that was used back in the day with Aretha. I finally pulled it out, and it does work. I got some work to do on it, but your mama played on this.
Yes.
You brought your mama in when she was here, when you were playing some of the stuff on whatever, my smooth jazz or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, and you were doing some piano overdubs. That was the piano you were using, but then I kind of freaked out because it's deja vu, because you're in town and your mama played on this piano. I remember you showed your mother the piano.
Oh yeah.
On some of the new stuff, because she's she's basically an organist. Yeah. Church organist, and in your town.
Oh no, yeah. She's kind of legendary in the Twin Cities. She was one to, when everybody was migrating up from the south. She was taking a lot of people in, and then they made a name for themselves and stuff, and they did good things, and they passed it on. So it was a deal about passing the torch on.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom played this piano, man, so I know there's some gospel still in this piano, because that's all she would have played.
Well, I remember she played that, she liked it and all that, and then we talked, and then that's when she told you to get the Black Hymn book.
Oh, yeah.
The hymn. And then you told me, I guess about a month later, you said, I remember you called me up, you said, man, you won't believe this. I said, what? My mama sent me a hymn book, but she told you go through each hymn and play the motherfucker on piano if you can read the shit.
Yeah, she was pretty hardcore, because I was a late starter. I was a drummer. I had like a whole career as a drummer, but when I started piano, so every once in a while, I play a hymn and stuff for her, and she would sing, and oh, son, I'm not warmed up enough. Take it up a third. And I was like, damn, what is a third? And I was saying it to myself. And then, so I didn't know, I couldn't take it up a third, and she was like, and you call yourself a musician?
Oh yeah, that's hard,
cold, man.
That's cold, yeah.
But
she was hitting below the belt, man.
Yeah, but it might be cold, but Mama was right. She was trying to tell you. You never know. It's too hard. Shit, Aretha did that, and we'd be looking at you. At least I kind of could go through a song and kind of figure out. I've done that with flute and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to do that, but the bottom line is, piano player, a chordal instrument, and bass. Man, you better know your stuff, because, man, you got ink all over your face and you can't get away with it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and what helps, what I'm got used to was playing with a bass player. And a bass player generally, I'm so used to him hitting those roots. So I bank off of that.
Right.
I jimmy off of that, and there was no bass player. So I had to just come up with this shit myself, and I was coming up short. So, but yeah, like you said, it was a good lesson to if you're gonna work with singers and you call yourself a piano player, you better be able to play them keys, boy.
Yeah, hey man.
You know the drill.
Yeah, man, I done that. I remember Della Reese turned around to me, I want to change the key. And I said, well, why did you have the arranger write it in the key? Because that's the key I liked it then. Mm-hmm. I want it in this key now. So usually when that happens, that means they don't losing the top end, and they got to lower keys, right?
Yeah.
They got to lower the keys.
But Della Reese, man, that would really.
And I said, you're going to tell us at rehearsal now, and we got an opening night, 3 nights. So I tell the piano player, I guess you're going to be writing a chart.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, man, I ain't here to write charts.
Yeah.
I'm here to play bass.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Well, we're going to take it a little bit, because me and Dale been reminiscing we haven't seen each other for a while because of this pandemic and all that.
Yeah,
and he started off with the Soul Savages when it was called The New Experience.
Yeah.
But that'll be another time we'll talk about that. So
Yeah.
I see that DJ Bledo over here is getting nervous because he wants to know all about Prince. Your boy Prince, you know, and I told him that you grew up with him just like Bobby Lyle, and he was a little kid running around or whatever. So I still got that picture you showed me when you guys were in Europe.
Yeah.
And everybody had the same haircut or hairdo, as I would say.
Well, late 80s, so that's the Sign of the Times tour.
Okay. Is that what it was?
That Sign of the Times tour. I mean, it was me, Prince, my brother,
Wendell,
yep, and it was us, and that was just the bottom line. We were in a group called 94 East.
Yeah.
It's on. There's a website called Prince Volt.
Yeah, I saw that. And they talked about that group and Madhouse and all that.
Madhouse, and it has every single date we did on the Sign of the Times tour.
Yeah.
And the only thing that fucked up the Sign of the Times tour, because it was a world tour, was that we. Luckily, we were young, you know, in our 20s, because this motherfucker had energy. Like, after you get done playing a stadium, you got to go to the hotel, take that clothes off, throw them out, and get some new shit, go to hair and makeup, and go play at a club and start at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. And there's all these people out there, you know. So
he said every time he went into a town, he saturated it.
He saturated it. And this was funny, man, because his hairdresser, he had a bunch of hairdressers, but the sister, her job was she had to get the keys to a salon in each city in case he wanted to get his hair done. It didn't matter what. So I went with her. I'm like, how do you just go to a salon and leave with the keys to somebody? So I went with her in Paris. And so me and her, we went to, and you know, I'm like, these motherfuckers are, you know, she's going to walk in and, well, I'm with Prince and I need the keys to your salon. I was seeing how the thing worked. Well, when she jotted down on that paper what the price was, he said, okay, this is my last appointment. He handed over the keys and shit. So this is my last appointment. He told everybody.
They were a payoff. They paid.
It was a payoff. Yeah.
They was coming in. Prince wants to have this for a day. How much is going to do?
He might not even use it. It's just. And so she would write down.
Give a card with the thing on the back of the card. How much are we going to pay? To have that, and they go, oh hell no, here you got the keys. Yeah. You know,
I saw the shit with my eyes, man.
That's how it worked.
And I would say maybe 70% of the time he wouldn't even use it. He wouldn't even use it.
He just have it available. Yeah.
Yep. Just have it available.
Yeah, because Aretha getting in town. I said, where's Aretha? She's at Macy's shopping.
Or
they're bringing shit from Macy's to her hotel room so she can look at whatever she want to pick up.
There it is.
That happens all the time.
It's on that level. But the thing about Aretha is that I got a great friend named John Fluker. He's music director for Gladys Knight. He said he went to see Aretha downtown, and she gave the first row of people. This is no shit. The first row of people, couple row of people, hamburgers or some shit like that. I'm serious. And she did. And then he said she heard the band. They played music, and he said the best part of the whole show, he said, was when she played solo and sang.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
That's always been the thing.
He said that was the best part.
Yeah.
He said, Dale, I got nothing against the musicians. The band was great. The music was great. He said, but when she sat down and played the piano and sang, he said it just took it to the other level.
Yeah. Well, it always did that. It was always that. When Aretha got on piano, that was it.
So we hadn't played since like the late 70s, because we've started in the mid 70s going to the studio as teenagers. And then the Scouts came to Minneapolis. And the first one to really cut something was this chick named Cynthia Johnson. She did this tune called Funky Town. Mm-hmm. And she was in the group Flight Time with Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam, which was just a local band. You know, they were just, everybody was local. So But yeah, so the next time I heard from him was 87 Sign of the Times tour, and I was playing around town, just doing little jazz gigs. and I get a little knock on my door, and some cat say, "Hey, man, I'm from PRN Productions," and he hands me an album, and he said, "Hey, man, Prince wants you to learn all the drum shit on this."
Wow.
This side. So I was like, well, that ain't hard. I taught him mostly shit he knows how to do on the drums,
Oh, you taught Prince a lot?
Yeah.
Whatever he played on drums, basically you the one that started him off.
I showed him a lot of that stuff,
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So people know the real deal.
But the thing was when I so it really wasn't an audition. So when I got there to the studio, this is before Paisley Park. Paisley Park was still getting built at the time.
Right.
So I show up and he's like, I got this badass friend I grew up with playing drums with me. I'm gonna show this motherfucker girl. I get over there and I show up and there Sheila E. is.
She playing drums or
yeah, she's playing
timbales?
drums. She was playing drums. She had a double bass drum kit.
So they switched her to timbales and you play drums.
So
right?
what happened is that so they had been doing Prince had been getting together with Miles quite a bit, and Miles would come to our rehearsals. So they had like a little jazz project. So they had a band that they called Madhouse, which was basically the same members in his group.
Right.
And except Sheila. And so it would be me, myself on the drums. So it was just me and then the other guys would have to change outfits. There was a couple of people that weren't.
What were the names of the guys in the band when you were playing drums?
What the same guys in his group was let's see, Levi was playing bass, Eric Lee's playing saxophone, Dr. Fink was playing keyboards, and it was pretty much we were like the warm up act.
Okay.
So he and Sheila were not in Madhouse.
Right.
Even though he recorded the album Madhouse.
Right.
He recorded all that shit. And so he just brought me in. So I was the extra, the missing piece to the puzzle. The only one on the tour. Everybody else had to do double duties. They had to play with the warm-up band and him. So when we got done, they had to go change clothes and get ready. So it's pretty fun, man. Great thing. And the Miles, man, when that motherfucker walked in, I was like, I gotta find a way to go and talk to this dude, man, because he came in with a bodyguard that was missing an eye.
What year is that? Because I could cut this up and give it to Vince. You know Vince?
Yeah.
But you say no, you need to say that because that way I'll cut it up and I'll send it to Vince.
Yeah.
Man, this is what your uncle did to Dale and scaring all these guys, man. With a guy that looks like Tiny Lister.
Oh man,
missing an eye.
It was scary.
Does anybody know about Tiny Lister? He been in every movie.
He had to be in every black movie back then. Tiny. You had to hire that cat, man. Yeah, that was funny shit, man.
But anyway, so the bottom line, what's your earliest recollection, the first time you met Prince? How old do you think he was?
Well, I know exactly. We were 13, 14.
Okay, it was teenage.
Yeah. Because
that's cool.
They came to our school. There was a battle of the bands because our school needed a band to play for the prom.
Right.
So
whoever won the band of the band is the band that played for the prom.
For the prom.
Yeah.
But see,
that's what they
were they were from Minneapolis, Prince and Morris Day and Terry and all those guys. They had a group called Grand Central. So it was Prince, Andre Simone, Morris Day. He's a great drummer. People don't even know Morris plays drums. But anyway, so we have this battle of the band in the gym. And there's all these bands. Well, the chicks from our school, they didn't vote for our ass because we went to the school. They wanted the band from Minneapolis.
Yeah, they wanted
the Prince and them guys. They were from Minneapolis. They said we see these motherfuckers every hour.
Yeah, well, you lost just because you were guilty by association, man.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Man, they will see. Man, let's get some out of town meet and see what happens.
They got Morris Day and Prince in them, man, and they did
tore it up,
the prom. They did, and they were good though. They were good.
So, they tore it up.
Yeah, but when we hooked up, it was about 14, 15, we started going to the studios. This cat came from New York named Peppy Willie, and he got us in a band. He had a music business. He had a real head for business and music, so he was a songwriter, and we just started. He took us to the studios, man, and we started recording.
Covering the shit, right?
And then they would, after would make the tapes, they would go to New York, and Pepe would go out and to the record, Polydor Records.
The record pool, as they call it.
Yeah. Back then, there was you could still do that and stuff, and so
I've seen some
cooking.
stuff.
Yeah, we were cooking, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It was some nice shit, man. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, hey,
nobody foreseen. I mean, I didn't foresee what was getting ready to happen to him. You know, I mean, I had a 6-night-a-week gig playing drums with a older black gentleman named Jimmy Bowman, and he was kind of like Nat King Cole. So when I was 14 and 15, I was playing at the in the hotels, man. So I had to run and throw on some the tuxedo or whatever. So when he first got signed with Warner Brothers, you know, they had a rehearsal space and all that, and I would rehearse. It would be me, him, and Andre, Simone, and way before Desi Dickerson, any of all those cats. And but come 5 o'clock, I'd have to leave because I'd have to go home and change my clothes and
go
put on that tuxedo.
Yeah,
and shit.
we'll work your gig.
And so that was my demise, though, because then, you know, I couldn't go. But the record companies, they kind of had a picture of what was happening. They knew that there was a group of really talented young black dudes, myself, Prince, Andre, Simone, and the rest of them. But they had a picture of something else.
They have to. The people of power have to sell whatever they have to sell.
Yep.
You know, and if that's how somebody's career is, then you go by that.
Yeah, that was the sign of the time.
Yeah, well, shit changed.
But yeah, man, so yeah, Miles would come and he, you know, Prince was running around recording live. So I finally get up the
courage to talk to him.
Yep, and I go over there and I say, I don't know how I approached him, but I did. And Prince was walking around. The first thing he said to me was, "Yeah, that's a little talented motherfucker, ain't it?" And I said, "Yeah, you know." So that was his new name, motherfucker, you know. And it just kind of went on from there, you know. Prince was running around playing live, so he would go record on the bass, then go run and go play on the guitar, then go run and play on the drums. But this was live, you know. So there were some other cats, you know, in town. You know, there was another Sonny Thompson. You know, everybody knows about Sonny Thompson, who really is known to be the guy that it was Prince's mentor. You know, like the. Mm-hmm. He and Sonny plays with everybody now, and Prince eventually got him in the group, but yeah, he started playing all them instruments. I mean, there was several, you know, I played several instruments too, but I mean, I didn't realize that he had in him what he had in him at the time. You know, as teenagers, I didn't know that he had sat down and looked at. And it you know, it got real hot and stuff, you know.
Yeah, that was a Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. It was all Janet Jackson stuff and Jesse Johnson.
Everybody was coming up there to record. They were producing, and actually Prince told me what happened with Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam, because they were the opening act for Prince, the time, and so. They had a few days off, and Terry Lewis and Jimmy were doing some side projects as songwriters for like Gladys Knight and I think like the Dales, you know, some groups and shit like that. And they got snowed in, and so they weren't able to make the concert. And so that was the
end of that.
That was the end of that. And so they couldn't, you know, and they were the warm-up band. So Prince had to, of course, I don't know what he did, but they made it happen. You're talking about 10, 20,000 people and stuff. So he told Morris Day, he said, well, if it was my group, I would fire him. Well, he's signing all the checks. So that's basically, you know, what you got to do. But it turned out to be a blessing for Jimmy Jam and Terry.
Yeah, because they went out and produced.
If they would have never missed that, if they never got snowed in, they would have just been
the side
guys
kick.
in the group, man.
So we figured that to top it off, we'll let Dale take it out with something that I know he knows how to play because he knows how to play a lot of shit.
I'm trying to.
But it don't make a difference. Everybody, this is Brandino, Bledo, and Dale Alexander visiting from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
All right, y'all.
And all that. And we're going to have lunch. So we do like we always do. This is the end of the show with Brandino and DJ Bledo. DJ Bledo, take it off for us, bro.
Hey, thanks for visiting the big house. We'll catch you next time.
All right now.
Okay, that's it, man. That's
it.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
He's been